Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be the sewing part of this dress. The other video I uploaded was the cutting. Today is going to be the sewing part. Please guys, like this video, help the channel, support me by liking this video, okay? Please, and if you are new to my channel, subscribe, like, and also share, and check out my other videos, okay? So let's get to the tutorial. So this is the already cut pattern. Okay, so as you can see, it's 4 pieces, 2 lining and 2 ankara, and I added ½ inch seam allowance around it. Okay, and make sure to mark your bust point, and also mark an arrow here to indicate that this is the side that will be joined to the other bust cup side. Okay, so this is the other bust, the side panel for the front. I added ½ inch at the center, and here I added 2 inches sewing allowance, and it's also 2 pieces of the ankara and 2 pieces of lining. Okay, and here is the back panel. I added ½ inch upward for joining of the yoke, and here is the zipper side, no allowance. At the down part, I added ½ inch. The same thing with this front panel, I added ½ inch down. And here I add 1.2 inches for sewing allowance. And it's also 2 pieces of the lining and 2 pieces of the ankara. Okay, and here is my skirt panel. I already have a tutorial on how to cut a perfect skirt that will fit very well, giving you a bum lift, you know, that shape that looks as if you're wearing a padded tights, like a bum. Okay, so this is the pattern, the original pattern. I just use it to draft another one with the band. This one doesn't have the band. I cut out the band already. Okay, so this is the center back. CB is my center back, and this is the back panel. So I closed my zip, my dart. I don't like sewing dart on my skirt, so I closed the dart. I added 1.5 inch for my zipper allowance. Okay, and I add 2 inches to the side for sewing allowance. Okay, the same thing goes to the front panel. I cut the front panel on fold, and I extended the length of the skirt. As you can see, it's actually a short skirt, and I extended the length. So I added seam allowance of 2 inches to the front panel also. So now I've already gum and interfacing on this, so I'm going to start sewing. You place this right side facing the right side of each other, and you're going to pin all around. Okay, I'm going to start pinning right now. So you can use any interfacing of your choice. What I used is tissue stay. I use the tissue stay. So make sure your bust points align with each other. Okay, so this point I'm pinning now is the bust point. So you make sure your bust point, your on the bust, each of them align properly with each other. Okay, so I'm pinning here right now, and I'm going to pin this round. Okay, so you're going to sew this way up to the end, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so here is the yoke. I've already cut the yoke, so this yoke is on fold. The front panel of the yoke, this one is on fold, and it's 2. I doubled the net, so I added ½ inch here and ½ inch at the down part also. This thing is more than ½ inch. I'm going to trim it out a little bit, so I added ½ inch there and ½ inch on the neckline. Okay, so it's double. I want it to be double, so here it is. I'm going to open it, and I'll show you guys how we are going to sew this. So you place them facing each other. A net doesn't have front and back, so place it anyhow you like. Okay, so I'm going to turn the neckline. Okay, make sure it's aligned, then you turn the neckline. I'm going to sew the neckline. Okay, just sew the neckline, and then you flip it over like this, and then you sew round it. Okay, but I'm going to go turn it first of all before I show you what I will do next. Okay, so after you turn the neckline, you trim out the excess, then you turn, then you sew this point just to hold the net in place. You can also leave it that way. So this is the back panel. I added 1/2 inch at the down part, 1/2 inch at the curve area. Okay, so this one is 4 pieces, 2 2 for each side. Okay, so this is 2 pieces. I'm going to sew the neckline, sew this down part, and also the curve area. Okay, that's where I'm going to be turning the neckline, the side, I mean the center front. Look at it. Okay, so where our button is going to sit, you're going to turn the neckline here and then the curve area. So for that point that the button is going to stay, I'm going to be using a hook, but in case you want to use a button and you need a loop for your button, let me show you how to fix that so that you have a neat finishing. So you just sew a fabric, just sew a straight fabric, and then you fold into 2 to form a loop. You open this up and place it inside like this. Before you turn that part, you put as many as you want, maybe 2 or 3, then you turn. Okay, so that when you turn it out, you have a neat finish. I'll do the same on this other panel. Okay, and here is my lining. I'm done joining my lining. Okay, I did the same thing I did on this Ankara. You open it and press and iron it. Press open the seam. Okay, so that it will last very well. So this is what we have after doing that, and I repeated exactly the same thing on the lining. Here is my lining. Okay, so I chalked the underbust and the bust point so that I will know where to fix my bra cup. Okay, I'll be using bra cup. So you fold in half and notch, and then you place the notch part on this underbust line here like this. Okay, sorry guys, I'm going to turn this the other way around. Okay, you turn the bra cup upside down. Okay, not the way I'm placing it. You're going to turn it upside down, and then you sew following that shape of your princess dart. Okay, you sew from here to hold it in place. Okay, so it's not going to be like this because this is actually the right side of the fabric. So I'll sew this and I'll come back and show you guys what I mean. So here is the skirt panel, the front panel of the skirt. I've turned this out. I believe we know how to turn a skirt. Okay, I believe we know how to turn a skirt with lining. So I've turned the front panel with lining. I'm just going to trim out the excess lining I have on the waist. Okay, so I just trimmed out the excess lining I have, and this is the back panel. I've sewn the dart on the back panel. Okay, and I joined it to the skirt one side. As you can see, I've sewn the dart here. I sewed the dart at the back panel and I joined it to the skirt like this. Okay, as you can see, I did the same thing to the lining. So here is the lining for the back. So I'm going to place the lining right side facing the right side like this, and then you sew. This is how I turn the front also, and then you're going to pull it over. Remember that your lining is going to be 1 or 2 inches shorter than your fabric depending on the allowance you added to it, and then you sew this way. After you pull it up, you sew up to the edge. Okay, that is how I turned this front panel. Okay, that is how I turned the front panel, and I'm going to be repeating the same thing to the back. So this is what I mean. This cup is going to be like this. Okay, you place it like this, not the other way around. You place not like this. Okay, because this part is going to be the right side. So if you place it like this, it's not going to sit well. So you have to be like this. Okay, so that it will sit, pack your bust properly. Okay, so it has to be like this. This is how to place your cup. You just press it inside this way, and then you sew following the shape of this line. Okay, then you sew this way. Just press it inside, and then you sew following the shape of your first seam like this. Okay, So I'll go and do that. So guys, here it is. I've done that. Okay, so I sewed following this shape like this, and this is how it looks. You can see it's a bit rough here. It's rough, it's not neat. That is what I'm trying to show you guys. It's not neat. I have two zip there right now, so I'm going to show you another way to make this. As you can see, this one, I will turn the right side. You see that is exactly on that same seam because I started from the inside like this. Can you see how neat this one is? So I sewed from this point. Okay, I did not sew from the back up side. I did not start sewing from here. I started sewing from this other side, the lining part. Okay, so this is what we have. So now we are going to use this to turn the front panel. Before then, I need to sew my, okay, as you can see, I've turned the neckline of the yoke, the mesh. Okay, so you can either sew these two to hold it in place, or you leave it like this. In my case, I left it this way. Okay, you can sew here to hold it together, or you leave it like this. So I leave my this way because it stretches better when I leave it this way. So now I'm going to start sewing this. Okay, so you're going to use your pin to hold this in place, or you can sew directly if you can. Okay, so you match this to this point like this, and then you sew. Okay, so I'm going to pin this to hold it in place. Just follow the shape and get to this point. You sew this way up to this point. I'll go and do that and I'll be back. So guys, I have done that. As you can see, I sewed up to the end here, and it's looking neat. So I'm going to open it up so that you guys will see. You notch, okay, make sure you notch so that it will relax properly. Okay, so after notching, I'll open it up. This is what I have. So next, I'm going to fix the other side of the fabric. So after fixing the other side of the fabric, I'll show you how to fix your lining. So you're going to place your lining right side facing the right side of the Ankara. So here is the right side of the lining. You're going to keep it this way. This is the right side. Okay. So now I'm going to place the lining right side facing the right side of the fabric like this. Okay. Like this. And then you start sewing. You place it this way and sew all the way down to this point. Okay, so that when you flip, it's going to look like this. Okay, so I'll go and do that and I'll be back. So guys, I'm done joining this other side. I just thought to show you guys before I go add my lining. Okay, so I'm done sewing the other side just exactly the way I sewed the first one I showed you guys. Okay, so this is what we have. This is how it's looking for now. So now I'm going to go, I've turned one side like this with the lining. Okay, okay, I've turned this side with the lining, and I'm going to flip it over for you guys to see. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Okay, as you can see, we have a neat finish on the inside and also on the outside. So I'm going to turn the inside for you guys to see. So this is the inside. Can you see how neat it is on the inside? Everything is concealed properly. So now I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side of the fabric. I'll repeat the same thing on this other side. And after that, I'm going to turn the side seam like this. You push this other one inside. Okay, so this is the way it is. You're going to flip over like this, push this other one inside this way. and then you sew the side. That is how we are going to turn the side. So I've done that. As you can see, I sewed the side. Okay, I'm going to bring it out now so that you guys will see. So this is it. As you can see, we've neatly concealed the side and the inside. Everything is looking neat. So you go and iron this properly. Use a hemming what is it called, tailor ham to iron the bust side. Okay, use the tailor ham to iron the bust side. So I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Okay, exactly what I did to this one, I'll repeat the same thing on this side. So I'm just going to pull this up like this and then push this one inside this way, and then you flip like so, and we are going to sew just like we did to the first one. Okay, we are going to sew this way. Okay, like this. Okay, so here I have done that. I've concealed this part. Okay, so I'm going to pull it out like so, and this is what we have. Okay, so everything is neatly finished. Now we are done with the front panel for now. Okay, so you just need to iron this. Do not iron your net, it will burn. Don't iron the mesh area, it's gonna burn. And when you ironing, be careful of the net so that it will not burn and you start your work afresh again. Okay, so be careful of the net so that you will not burn it. Okay, so now after this, we are going to move to the back panel. We are going to start making the back panel, and then you can just join this to your skirt. Okay, you join this to your skirt, placing them right sides facing the right side of each other, and you join to the front panel of the skirt. So let's work on the back panel. So here is the back panel. I'm going to get the back panel mesh, the net. Okay, as you can see, I've not turned the back with lining. This is because I want to turn everything together. So here is the mesh. You're going to place it like so. The part that you want to be on the front, at the front, should be the one facing the fabric. Anyway, net doesn't have front and back, but in case there is a particular side you want to be at the front, that is the one you place facing the fabric, and then you place it this way. Leave your zipper allowance of 1.5 inch or 1 inch, whatever zipper allowance you added, just leave that behind, and then you place your net and sew. And after sewing that, I'm going to get my lining and I'll place it on top of it like this, and I'll turn the neckline from here up to the zipper area side. Okay, you sew from here up to the zipper side. Okay, up to the zipper side, and then you also sew, push it down to the hemline and sew. You can also sew the side, the two side, you turn the two side. Okay, but before you turn the two side, you must have sewn the hem. You sew the hem. Sure, before you even draw the lining upward, you sew the hem, then you pull your lining upward to sew this point. You sew here, and then you start sewing the two side. Okay, you sew the hemline first of all, you pull your lining upward, and so remember that your lining will be right side facing the right side of each other. So like I said earlier, your lining should be 1 or 2 inches longer than your fabric. Any seam allowance you added at the hem, folding allowance, your lining should not be included. Your lining should be your exact length that you want to use for your skirt. If you watch my skirt tutorial, you'll understand better. Okay, so I've turned the side. So now the only place left for us to turn this is the armhole. Okay, so you're going to turn this from the armhole because every other part is concealed, is closed. Okay, every other part is closed, so the only place left to turn this fabric is from the armhole, so which I'm doing right now. And after this, you go and give this a good press. You give your panel a good press. Okay, iron properly, to have a neat and a flat work. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so this is what we have. It's looking beautiful already. Okay, and when I turn the wrong side, you're going to see that that part is also looking neat and beautiful. So remember, you're going to place your lining right side facing the right side of your Ankara. Okay, so this is looking beautiful, and the inside is concealed properly. So you just trim out the any excess you have. It's okay if you have excess. This is a net, and of course it will be stretchy a bit. Okay, so um this is how the inside is looking, as you can see. Okay, so just go and give this a good press so that it will lay flat. Okay, and this is how the inside is looking, very neat and beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to repeat the same thing I did to this one on the other panel, and then I'll fix my zip. Guys, we know how to fix zip now. So I'll fix my zip, and then the front panel, I will join the upper part of the front panel. Okay, so here I've joined this to the skirt using 1/2 inch that I added, 1/2 inch similar ones that I included, and this is how the right side is looking, neat and beautiful. Okay, so guys, next I'm going to place the back panel facing the right panel, right sides facing each other. Okay, right sides facing the right side of each other. So this is it. I fix my zip following the shape of that back panel and using my zipper allowance of 1.5 inch. Okay, so make sure you use up your zipper allowance. So now I'll place them right sides facing the right side of each other. I will join the shoulders first of all, and then I will shape the side of my skirt. Take my hip measurement, take my waist, my bust, and then I'll shape my dress. Okay, I'll just shape my dress and then sew it down. Okay, so I left up this part. I'm going to use this hook. This is the hook I'm going to use for the back panel. So in case if you want to use button, I showed how to fix your button loop. Okay, but for me, this is what I want to use. Okay, and then you can leave any slit measurement of your choice, and that is all for this tutorial. Fix any sleeve of your choice. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and share this video. Please guys, support this channel by liking. When you like, YouTube is going to recommend my video and more people will get to see it. But if you don't like, you're not helping me. Guys, please like. Okay, and this is the final look. I've not fixed the applique for it. When I fix, I'm going to upload it on a short. See you in